Hey everybody. So the original live stream, something went wrong with that. So I had to start a completely new live stream. So let me share this out. All right. Let me share this out and we'll get started. All right. This is my fault. I should have. So thanks for coming in, guys. The software that I uploaded some software and it was messing me up in my back end. And so because of that, some of you were waiting for me. And so I'm going to post this on Twitter. Okay. All right. And then I'll post this to YouTube. All right. So hello and welcome to this live stream. On today's live stream, I will be talking about online tools to run a successful online business. Tools and apps, 12 of them that I use to run a successful online business. And unfortunately, a lot of things went wrong in trying to set this up. So I hope you all can come on live and we'll have this because I changed the link. This is the second time this has happened to me. Whenever you're trying to do something technologically savvy, trust and believe that something may happen. So please, could you share this out? Could you tweet this out? Could you share this on your Facebook, wherever you can share this? I would really appreciate that. I know there were people waiting for me on the other live stream, and unfortunately, the software there, somehow it just was a mess. So I really apologize for sharing that link and then not making that. So hopefully I'm going to delete that software from this computer, and then next time it's going to be better. So thank you for coming. I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up if you're watching this and you get value from it. If this is your first time watching me, hey there, my name is G Nontra. And on this channel, I give you tips, resources, and strategies on how to make a living with your writing. All right. And on today's live stream, I'm going to be sharing with you 12. So let me do this. 12 online business tools that have been amazing for me and for my business. So let me do this. Okay. All right. So we'll get started. All right. Just right. We are live now. Okay. All right, so we'll get right into it. So the first tool, and it always helps when the people that are on here chat with me. So even if I see there's just one person on the live stream right now, but you can say hi, hello, don't hide, don't try to be anonymous. It really does give me confidence, okay? So the first tool I'm going to talk about is a tool known as Gumroad. So Gumroad is a tool that I really, really enjoy because if you know me, then you know that I sell ebooks. I'm a writer, and one of the ways that writers can make an income is through ebooks. And I like to put my ebooks, especially the ones that where I wrote somewhere between 2017, 2018, 2019, I love to put those on Gumroad. And a lot of people that have watched me before have said they've never heard of Gumroad. And it's sad that lots of people haven't heard of Gumroad, but Gumroad is a really great platform for not just ebooks, but for your digital products. And so, if that is something that you want to do, if digital products are something you want to sell, then I really highly recommend checking out Gumroad. Well, a few things about Gumroad: they make it really easy for you to upload the particular digital product that you want to sell, whether that's an ebook, a course, audio, whatever it is, you can upload. I know that some people even sell physical products on Gumroad. So that's one platform where you can sell products. Okay. So Gumroad has really been helpful to me. And the nice thing about Gumroad is that it gives you real-time analytics. And these are really, really helpful in the sense that when you are tracking where people are coming from to the page, to the sales page that you've set up on Gumroad, it's really helpful. So for instance, if I see that more people come from YouTube to the page, my Gumroad page, where I have set up a digital product page, that tells me that I need to be doing more promotion on YouTube. If I've been doing a lot of promotion on Twitter, but I don't see people coming from Twitter or coming from Facebook onto my Gumroad page, then that tells me that maybe Twitter and Facebook are not the best platforms for me to promote my products. And so I remember there was this one particular product. It was actually two of them. It was not Win at Freelance Writing. Win at Freelance Writing is my most recent book, but this was Become a Social Media Manager and also Endless Clients. I have some of those links in the description of this video. So anyway, so with those products, I used to sell them via my email list. So on my email list, people would go on there and then buy the products through that. Okay. So I got to see that a lot more people were coming from my email list to that page. And that was really, really helpful for me. So Gumroad is the first tool I'm going to talk about. Really great tool when it comes to selling online. So if that's something that you want to check out, I highly recommend that you do that. So that's Gumroad. All right. The second tool I'll talk about is a tool called PayPal. So PayPal has been around for the longest time. And with PayPal, what happens is that it's what it says, it's a pay portal. This is how, as a freelance writer, I invoice all of my clients. I send them to PayPal. I send invoices to them via PayPal, and that allows me to get paid. Okay. That allows me to get paid. So Gumroad is the first one, selling digital products. PayPal is the second tool. And this tool I use specifically for getting invoiced and getting invoices sent out, as well as also tracking my payments, because as a business owner, it's important for you to be tracking your payments or tracking how you get paid, right? And so I find that once I set it all up within my system, it's really, really easy to track and go along with. So anyway, PayPal is the second one. The third tool I want to talk about is, I don't know, something is going wrong with this live. All right. The third tool I'll talk about. Okay. I think if you can hear me and see me, can you just drop an emoji in the comments? Because I don't know what's going on. Just drop me an emoji in the comments. Let me know that you can see me and hear me. Okay. Let me know. So the first two tools I talked about, if you're just joining us, Gumroad and then PayPal, right? Gumroad allows you to get, yay, thank you, Stephanie. Gumroad allows you to get paid for your digital products. So I've sold ebooks and mini courses on Gumroad. Okay, PayPal. This is how I invoice my clients and also track my expenses and then money coming in. All right. And I know not everybody enjoys PayPal. There are other tools out there. I just use PayPal for the longest. And with PayPal, you can just have a paypal.me/ your username. So I have a paypal.me/ gnontra. And a lot of the time, if I just want somebody, let's say, I remember when I first started coaching people, I would just send them the link paypal.me/ gnontra, then another /500. I would do that, right? And I'd send it out to them, and immediately it creates some kind of invoice for them, and they're able to send me that $500 for their coaching, program. So if you want to send like a really, really quick link to folks, and I'm going to put that in the chat as well, paypal.me/ this is an example. I'm not asking you to send me money. But anyway, paypal.me/ your username, then people can send you money that way. All right. And it's super easy. You don't have to go in there and create an invoice. So that's one of the reasons why I stick with PayPal. Okay. So that is PayPal. Now, the third tool I'll talk about is a tool known as Notion. Okay, so you guys, I just discovered Notion. And if you hear somebody yelling a shrill voice, that's my son being loud. All right, so Notion is like an amalgamation of Trello, Asana, OneNote, Evernote, like all the tools that you can think about for productivity. Notion essentially boils it all up into one. And let me explain. So before I started using Notion, I used OneNote. OneNote is a note-taking app. I love OneNote. I actually pay for Microsoft 360 on a monthly basis, and OneNote comes with that. So I use OneNote to like gather ideas for my YouTube channel, to write down notes, to write down even shopping lists, right? Well, and then I use Google Calendar to like schedule all my stuff. I've kind of played with Asana a little bit, but I'm not loyal. So I'm not even going to pretend. And then Evernote, I've also played around with. Now, the thing with all of these is that like you can, with Evernote and with OneNote, you can take screenshots of websites, or you can save links from websites, and you would be like, okay, gee, why don't you just bookmark it on your browser? Yes, you could do that, but sometimes, I don't know about you, I use Google Chrome. Sometimes the bookmarks are way too many, and it's not very helpful in the end. So when I save them in like a folder in my OneNote, then I can just go to that folder and just click on it and find it. Okay, so that's really, really helpful for me. Now, Notion takes all of these things, like your scheduling, your note-taking, your clipping of articles on the internet, everything, and puts it in one place. And your to-do list, everything. And at first, I needed maybe 3 or 4 tools to do that. But Notion does all of that. So if you're thinking, I really recommend that if you're thinking of a tool that will help you, keep your notes, that will help you keep your ideas, that will help you keep a to-do list, that will help you like schedule things in one place, I think Notion is helpful. And as a business owner, yes, it does, Stephanie. It does. Notion does let you collab with other people. Now, if you use their free version, they will it's limited, of course. It's limited, but you can invite people as guests to your Notion, not necessarily as a user, but you can invite them as guests. Paying for it, I think, starts around somewhere $4 per month. So if you wanted to do like collab with like your team and so on and so forth, yes, you could definitely have that. So yeah, they do let you collab. Because that's one of the reasons I enjoyed Asana, is because you could collab and you could schedule and all that. And I even used Asana for a while for my content calendar. But I think Notion, I don't even think I've scratched the surface on what Notion is, because I just discovered it and I started using it. And for a business owner, right, like you all know that scheduling and finding ideas and implementing things and even writing down sales pages, writing down descriptions for my books, like I do all of that before I actually implement it on a website. So creating that before I put it on a website, creating that before I put it on a landing page in what I used to use OneNote for that. Now I'm using Notion for that. And with Notion, you can use it both on your phone and on your desktop. And you don't have, right now, there's no limit on, because like a tool like Evernote, for those who ever use Evernote, you could only use it on 2 devices. Like you were limited to 2 devices you could use, and you're really limited on what you could do. Notion, I don't think limits you on how many devices you can access Notion on. So right now, I know I have it on my phone. I have it on an old Android phone I used to have. I also have it on my desktop, this laptop, and my desktop computer. So, for now, the free version is amazing for Notion. So it's good to get. One thing I realize about these softwares is if you grandfather yourself in, you get to reap benefits for a really long time for the free stuff, right? But yeah, for sure, if you want to pay for it as well to advance your business, go for it. Okay, so that's Notion. That's the one tool that I recently discovered that's really helping me with my business. Okay, so as far as email marketing goes, I use ActiveCampaign. Now, ActiveCampaign starts out, I think, at $29 per month until you hit 2,500 subscribers. So recently, my email list did cross that, and so I now have to pay $45 per month. But it's fine because I'll make the money back from my list. Now, a really good thing is always to think of your email list as people that you're building a relationship with, so that you reap the benefits later. You're going to reap the benefits of those relationships later on, because and the point of an email list is always to serve. It's always to serve first, and then they will support you when you launch your book, when you launch your product, when you launch your coaching program. Okay. Now, typically, people say that email lists convert at between 2 to 3%. So what does that mean? That means that if you have 100 people on your email list, then you can expect typically 2 to 3 people to respond to an offer, to a paid offer that you have. So if you have that and that's what's happening for you, you're doing great. If you're hitting more than that, you're even doing better. Okay, so don't expect everybody. I would say 99% or 97% of people on your email list will not buy from you directly. But the beautiful thing about an email list is that because you build those relationships, you start building super fans, guys. You will start building super fans. And because you start building these super fans, they're going to be telling other people about you. And, I've had this happen to me, and you never know who's also on your email list. Sometimes people, I remember so let me tell you this quick story before I jump into talking about ActiveCampaign. Again, the importance of an email list. So I remember this one guy invited me to speak. It was a virtual speaking engagement, and I was speaking to an audience in Europe. I knew this guy from nowhere, except he was on my email list. Okay, so he had signed up to my email list and he had been watching me. Actually, his girlfriend was on my email list and she told him about me. And then I kept on nurturing my email list, writing to them, every week. I try to do every week. I had this question this week from one of my coaching clients, like, how many times should you email your list? It depends on you. I stick to about once a week, max of like 4 or 5 times a month. That's what I do. Some people email every day. Some people even email multiple times every day. That's tiring for me. I can't do that, but I can do once a week. So yeah, she was on my email list and she told her boyfriend about me. He got on my email list. They invited me to speak to an audience in Europe. Would I have gotten that speaking engagement if, I didn't build an email list? Probably not. So I got that speaking engagement from my email list. And of course, people from my email list have bought my books, have become my coaching clients. And so your email list is super important. Okay. So Active Campaign is what I use. If you want a tool that is free and that still is top notch, okay, MailerLite. Let me recommend MailerLite to you. MailerLite will allow you to build an email list of up to 1,000 subscribers for free, and you get landing pages. Okay. Yeah, right, Stephanie. Email subscribers really are super fans, man. I mean, whew, man. sometimes I'm so surprised because like I may go on somebody's live or somebody's podcast and then there's one of my email subscribers that I didn't even know. And they're like, I'm on your email list and G is awesome. And I'm like, wow, where did you come from? But they wouldn't hype me up if I wasn't communicating. So that's important. That's important. So yeah, absolutely, Stephanie. Email subscribers really are super fans. Anyway, so Active Campaign is what I use. If you're looking for a free email list building tool that really does well for you, also MailerLite is one I recommend. I have used it recently. Actually, when I was about to launch When at Freelance Writing, I used MailerLite's landing pages to collect emails. And it works so well because their landing pages are such that you can just drag and drop and it's super easy and it's done within minutes. One day I tried to do the same thing with MailChimp, and this is not me calling out. Actually, maybe this is me calling out software companies. I tried to do the same thing with MailChimp. Please do not use MailChimp. Okay. If you're using MailChimp, please get onto something else. I tried using MailChimp for the same thing. Took me hours to try to just design a simple landing page. Whereas MailerLite literally took me 5 minutes. Nobody has paid me to say any of this. I'm telling you the tools I use that are helpful to me. Active Campaign is what I pay for because my list is getting bigger and bigger. But if you are just starting out and you need a free, helpful tool, MailerLite will let you build up to 1,000 subscribers for free. Don't use MailChimp. I didn't used to say that because I used MailChimp for a long time, but now that I know better, no. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next tool. Okay, the next tool I'm going to talk about is Zoom. And let me know in the comments, by the way, like, what email marketing tool do you use? Or have you checked out? Like, let me know in the comments. Okay. Okay. So the next tool I'll talk about is Zoom. A lot of us know Zoom because of what? Because of the current situation. So a lot of people use Zoom. But people don't use Zoom to its maximum capacities. Did you know that on Zoom, you can have breakout sessions? If, let's say, you have a Zoom call of 50 people, of 20 people, you could break people up into groups, small groups, like of 4 or 5 people, and have breakout sessions on Zoom. Did you know that? Well, did you know that you can record your Zoom recordings up to the cloud? Yes, you can. And you don't have to download it onto your computer, because I've done this once where I was in the middle of recording a podcast with Zoom. And then right after the podcast finished, it was recording on my computer. And my computer went off. It just shut off. And I lost that whole hour of podcast interview. If I had recorded it to the cloud would have still kept that recording. So that's a little tip for you, for those Zoom users. If you pay for Zoom, I pay for Zoom. Because if you use a free version of Zoom and you have a group that you want to talk to, it's only limited to 40 minutes. Okay. It's only limited to 40 minutes. So just remember that. Okay. Anyway, so Zoom has a lot of features. I don't even want to get into all of them, but I use Zoom for my coaching and for podcasting. So coaching, let's talk about that for a minute. I do coaching. All right. I coach. These are 2 ways I coach people. I coach people on how to actually sit down and write their first book, come out with the whole manuscript. So we come up with the whole manuscript. We come up with a marketing plan. We come up with what you need to be doing. And it's called Author in 6 weeks. And within 6 weeks, the goal is for you to have your first draft of your book done, and for you to at least have your landing page set up where you're going to start collecting emails of people who you are going to market to. And we go through like a whole checklist of things to help you get your book out there, because I know lots of you want to write your books, but you've been sitting on it for 20 years. Time to get off it, right? So that's one way I coach people. And then the other way I coach people is helping them build an online presence from scratch. So for writers, for authors, for experts, right, that want to build a monetizable online presence, I coach people like that as well. So I use Zoom for that. And the reason Stephanie says I use MailerLite too, and I'm glad. Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. They have a free feature where you can have several pages. Oh, that's so cool. I have to check that out. That's really good. Thanks for sharing that, Steph. Yeah, so the reason I use Zoom for coaching is because of the recording function. Because what I do for my coaching clients is that all the sessions that we have together, they get access to that. So every session I have with them specifically, because it's very tailor-made coaching sessions. They're very specific to the person. So then I create a folder for them. And after every call, I upload the video of our conversation to that folder, and they have lifetime access to that. Okay, so that's how I use Zoom in my coaching. And then also the fact that I can screen share and then just show them things practically on, screens is one of the reasons why I use Zoom. So Zoom makes me money too, baby. All right. I also use Zoom for podcasting. So for all of you that may be interested in, and hello to everybody coming in. Let me just pause and say hello. Thank you for coming on live today. I'm just delving in and talking about 12 online business tools that help me make money. And I'm just sharing how they help me make money. Okay. So podcasting is also a great way to get your name out there in the world. And sometimes you have to do podcast interviews. Well, the way that I'm able to do that is to get them on a Zoom call and we talk. So Steph has been on my podcast before, and we had a Zoom call. It was so much fun. Oh man, we have to get together again, by the way. But that podcast interview was a lot of fun. And all I did after the call was that when you record a Zoom call, you don't only just get the option of video, you also get an option of audio recording. I just take that audio recording, upload it, and edit it a little bit, upload that to my podcast hosting. That's it. Okay, so I don't have to do so much. And that's something I could easily give to a VA to do for me. So easy. So that's how I use Zoom. That's how Zoom helps me make money. Okay, now let's talk about websites, right? So do I think websites are important in 2020? I think they are. I think that the days of a website being a luxury are gone, right? Back in the early 2000s, when you said you had a website, people were like, oh, you have a website, right? These days, it's like, oh, you have a website. It's not as novel. But it's absolutely important for those of you that are listening to me, watching me today, that are video creators. It's so important for you to have a website, even if it's just a one-page website where people can go and make appointments with you, where people can buy your digital products, right? You should have a home of your own. Have a home of your own, all right? Because YouTube can go away any day. This is why all my YouTube videos, I actually have them backed up in a folder on my desktop. I'm about to move them to an external hard drive because they're taking up a lot of space, but I've saved about 90 to 95% of my videos. I think the ones I haven't saved are usually the lives, because I'm doing them directly on here. But if I shot it on my camera and I edited on my computer, I'm keeping that because it's my property. And if YouTube ever goes away, well, guess what? Whichever other platform is out there, I'm going to upload these videos to. Or I can even embed them on my own website and have people watch them. Okay, so your website is absolutely important because that's the one thing nobody can pull out. Nobody can take that away from you. All right. Twitter can go away, Instagram can go away, Facebook can go away, YouTube could go away. But your website, nobody takes that away from you. So don't build everything on rented land. Have your own property, okay? And that's why I think podcasting is also powerful, because podcasting is another thing that nobody can ever take away from you. So anyway, for websites, now that I talked about the importance of that, for websites, I personally use WordPress hosted websites. And if you're getting value from this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I use WordPress hosted. I self-host my WordPress websites on a host known as SiteGround. I used to host it on another one called, I think, Fat Cow. And that company, I think, is owned by the same people that own Bluehost and some other popular hosting companies. And for a while there, they didn't have a very good reputation. So, and after my website hit a certain traffic level, all of a sudden my website started slowing down on these hosts. So I moved my website to SiteGround, and I've never regretted. I've never had a slow day on my website. I've never had problems with people accessing my website, although there is a problem with my online biz journey right now. So I have to figure that out. But I didn't have any problems. So SiteGround is something that I wholeheartedly recommend. I won't recommend Bluehost to you because big creators recommend it. If you want to go with that, absolutely. But I use SiteGround. It's super helpful and I love it. Okay. For themes on the WordPress website, I use Divi. And I know the reason why I'm laughing right now is because one day Stephanie on Twitter said Divi was messing up her website, which I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. Oh man. Anyway, so I use that Divi theme from Elegant Themes. If you go to elegantthemes.com, and I think I may have a link, affiliate link in my description. You can check that out. It was you. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think I did see that. I was like, oh no, man. But I use Divi on my Gina Entra website. I love it. It's simple. And the thing about the Divi theme, as compared to other WordPress themes that are out there, is that did you ever get it fixed though, Steph? Did you ever get that fixed? Let me know. And the thing about Divi though is that they have all these widgets within. Are they widgets? I don't think they're widgets. They have these functions within Divi that allow you to build pages that are specific for like your videos. Pages like if you want to build a speaker page, you can do that very easily. If you wanted to build a page where you have like the prices of things, you know how when you go on people's websites, people will say, oh, you can coach with me for $197 and $497 and $997. You know how you have that like payment grid. Well, Divi has all these kind of features that make website building really easy. So if right now you are DIYing your website and you don't have like a fancy designer, to do it, I think Divi is good. And then if you get to the point where you're like, okay, fancy designer, then go pay for fancy designer. Okay, but if you're just starting out and you just want to DIY your website, Divi is good. Is a good theme for your website. So that's what I recommend personally. I also used to recommend Thrive Themes. That's the secondary one. I enjoyed it. I liked it. That's the second one I'd recommend. So between Thrive Themes and Divi Themes, check out which one you enjoy. And the point of a website, again, like I was saying, is to get people, is to own your own platform and to get people to buy you and to buy your product and to buy what you want them to buy. So on my website right now, right, I have like the Create and Prosper Academy, which is just a curation of my best digital products on freelancing and building a freelance business. So if you wanted to check that out, I have a page on my website that does that. I don't have to depend on Gumroad. I don't have to depend on anybody, even though I use these tools to boost the functionality of my website. I can do this directly from my website. So I think that in 2020, a website is no longer a luxury and you should invest in one. All right. So because it will make it, the number one, it validates what you're doing, and you have much more control. There are no algorithms against your website. Okay. So That's it. Okay, so when it comes to content creation, so a lot of you know I'm very, very active on the gram. I'm very active on the gram. I'm also quite active on LinkedIn. And for all of these platforms, it's important for me to create eye-catching, attractive, tasty, free content that also gets people interested in my paid products. So that's always important to me. Two tools that I use here are Canva and InShot, because visual content wins all the time. Every time I write something versus I put a visual to it, the one that has the visual always does better, always, consistently. Even on Instagram, right? If you follow me on there, you'll notice that I have text posts and I have posts where I'm in the picture. By hands down, when I look at the analytics on these, hands down, the posts that have a picture of me always maybe 3 or 4 times outperform the images that just have text on them. So text images may do well on Instagram for me, but I find that it's always like blows the pictures of me in it, even if it's just a picture of my microphone in it, outdoes the text. So it's important that you put images with your content. So Canva and InShot. Canva is also free. You can pay for it. InShot is not free. InShot is free. It's free with limited features, and so that's also not free. But there's a lot you can do with it. So every time sometimes I go on my Instagram stories and I record myself saying something, and I really, really want to put it on my IGTV, right? So I will save all those 15-second Instagram stories, and then I'll export them into InShot and then put them together as a whole video. And IGTV allows you to upload videos longer than a minute. So if it ends up being longer than a minute, I put it up on IGTV, or if it's less than a minute, I put it up on my Instagram. But I do that in InShot. And you can add certain features, you can add certain text, you can do different things within InShot. But if you really want to create like engaging content, these two tools, Canva and InShot, I love them. There are other tools out there that you could use, like PicMonkey, but these ones by far are my favorite. Now, I think now we're on number 9. Okay, there are 2 tools that I use to schedule my social media content, because what did I say earlier? I said I create social media content. I create tasty social media content to get people interested in my paid content, right? And I do believe that that's how you should be using social media as a business owner. You shouldn't just be using social media just to promote free stuff. But okay, let's take a deep breath here and let G tell you, because every time I say something, it's because I've made the mistake before, and I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be, I don't know the word for it. I'm not trying to be, like in Ghana, we say, I'm not trying to be some way, okay? This is the thing. You can post content on social media all day and get lots of people liking it and get lots of people commenting on it and make $0. Zero. This happened to me. Don't do that, okay? You want to make sure, okay, Stephanie says true, okay. Don't do that, please. I've done that, and it didn't pay off for me. Don't create content just to create content. Create content with intention. Create content with the intention that this is going to lead somebody to be interested in a paid product. And like I said, 90-something% are not going to buy from you, but you do want that 3, 4, 5% who are interested in buying from you, who are interested in your services, to say yes. And so you don't need to be out here just posting random content about what you ate. I mean, yeah, there's this Q&A, like that's okay. And I've done a lot of that, by the way. So this is me chastising my own self. I did a lot of that, but that doesn't get me the sale. What does get me the sale is when I post something that solves a quick issue, a quick problem for my ideal client or customer. And then that person in turn sends me a DM later on and it's like, hey, I watched you talk about so-and-so. Let me tell you how I got Yes. CTA, call to action. Yes, 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 yes. I was about to get there, but yes. Um, how did I get one of my first book coaching clients? Well, when I wrote my book, right, I talked about it quite a bit when I was writing my book. I did a YouTube video. I did multiple YouTube videos on it. And I was walking people through my whole process. Well, when she was ready to write her book, she just sent me a message and was like, "Hey, G, I'm about to put out a book, and you seem knowledgeable, and I want you to be my coach." That's how that happened. Okay, that's how I launched Author in 6 weeks. is just somebody reaching out and saying, "I saw you talk about your process. I saw you launch your book like a boss, and I want to do that." So don't create content just to create content. Create content with the intention of people becoming interested in your products, okay, and your services. Somebody who I used to follow quite a bit is Regina. And I don't know her last name, but it's a long Nigerian last name. Anajanu or something. You'll find her. I think she's at Regina.com. So she wrote an email once where she talked about being free zoned. You know how you can be friend zoned in romantic relationships, like you're friends with somebody for a long time and they don't know that you actually like them, but then they have friend zoned you, right? Don't do that as a business owner. Do not, please avoid that. People will free zone you in a minute if you do not make your intentions clear, right? Just like those relationships where you don't make your intentions clear. So please make your intention clear that I'm here, I'm a business owner to sell. So that's that. Anyway, so the tools that I use to push out my content, Buffer and then Facebook Creator Studio. Okay, so Buffer and Facebook Creator Studio. Buffer is they have a free version that you can use. I just schedule my Twitter content there. So everything that you see on my Twitter, I just upload that to Buffer and Buffer just sends it out. When I have to post on my Instagram, I use Facebook Creator Studio because Instagram takes time and I batch create content. So when I sit down to batch create my Instagram content, I'm creating that and uploading it directly to Facebook Creator Studio. And Facebook Creator Studio is then pushing that to my Instagram on the dates that I set. And the reason I do that, obviously, is to save time. But also, when I sit down and I batch create my content, I'm really intentional with the words I choose, with what I'm putting out there, again, to attract my ideal clients to me or to bring those ideal clients to me. So that's what I use, Facebook Creator Studio, and I do batch create my Instagram content. It always ends up being more profitable and more engaging when I do that. Okay. Tool number 11 is TubeBuddy. And I think Stephanie has a lot to say about it. I have to watch your video with Alicia, Steph, because that was a really good video. But anyway, TubeBuddy is what I use for all my research here on Instagram. If I find a topic that I'm really interested in creating a video about, I'll go into TubeBuddy, I'll plug it in, I'll look for keywords that are related to that topic that people are searching for actively here on YouTube and which don't have a lot of competition yet. And I create videos around that. Now, sometimes it may even have competition, but I still create it out and put it out there because why not? Like, why not? Okay, your video could get picked up. Like, there was this one video I created that's doing really well right now. And it was a video on Instagram stories. And it has almost 50,000 views right now. And that was something I really researched deeply into on TubeBuddy. So if I didn't have that tool, I don't think I would have that many views. And the reason why, let me pause here. The reason why I think that video is doing well is because I stumbled on a keyword and a key phrase that very few people were targeting at the time. So it's like, why? Like, I thought this would be something that would be saturated, but no, within the Instagram story bubble, there was a particular keyword people were not tracking, and it was using an Android phone to create Instagram stories. A lot of people would create Instagram story content around iPhones, which is what I use now. But at that time, I was using Android, and I was like, why not? And the video just blew up kind of out of nowhere compared to all the other videos on my channel. So I think that if you use TubeBuddy to find those keywords that is in a bubble of a popular topic, but it's something that people are not really using, you can do really well. Okay. All right. So tool number 12 is Ubersuggest. Now, Ubersuggest, because I'm a writer, and for those of you that are watching me who are writers, again, if this is helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. But for those of you that are writers or have your own blogs or are looking for content that people will look for and people will find the website for, you want to be using Ubersuggest. I've been doing this for my clients for the past 1 year. And hey, Patricia, good to see you. And yes, so I've been using Ubersuggest for the last, TubeBuddy really is a great tool. It really is. So I've been using Ubersuggest for about very actively, the last 1 year. And for 2 of my clients, I have seen their traffic double in the last 12 months. Their traffic, I've seen like the graph went from like this to like this. Okay, it went like this to this because I was using Ubersuggest. I'll share a little bit shortly about how I use it. So what I do is, for my clients, my writing clients, okay, I'll go find their competitors. All right. I'll go find the competitors, and especially competitors who have blog content. Then I'll take that link. This is a secret, so I'm coming closer. So I'll take that link. I'll put that into Ubersuggest. I'll take the link for the website. I'll put it into Ubersuggest. And then Ubersuggest tells me, oh my goodness, Stephanie, I should do a full tutorial, huh? Okay, I'll do that. So I'll do that. That's going to be on the next list of videos, okay? So I'll put that in there, and then it will give me all the keywords that this website ranks for in Google. Then it gives me the SEO difficulty. That's the magic of this tool. Let me tell you about SEO difficulty. I'm a nerd right now. But SEO difficulty essentially is like, how difficult is it for Google to pick up that particular piece of content and show it on the first page of Google, which means that it's very highly, it tells me it's competitive or it's not competitive. So if it's super competitive and the SEO difficult, they have a score from 0 to 100. Of course, as you get closer to 100, that tells you that's going to be super difficult and you're going to be on page 500 of Google for that keyword. Okay. But if I notice that the SEO difficulty of that keyword is less than 50, and then there are people searching for, there are more than 1,000 people searching for it per month, then I will create content on that keyword for my clients. And all of a sudden their organic traffic went from like this to like that. Okay. So that's why I love it. And I can download that as an Excel spreadsheet and keep it on my computer, so that every time I want to find new ideas for my clients, I just go to that. You guys, I'm giving you all my game. Okay, I'll end it there. You can download the Excel spreadsheet. What you do with it, I'm not going to tell you until you get into my course. Anyway, but Ubersuggest, that is a lot of free game I just gave you. If you learn how to use Ubersuggest, you are going to be one of your clients' favorite writers. Okay. The last tool I'll talk about today is a tool. You love the TT. Yes, I love it. I love it too. Anyway, the last tool I'll talk about today is a tool called Forest. Okay, Forest is a tool I use on my computer. It's a Google Chrome extension. It can also be an app on your phone. And what Forest does for me is that when I'm working, it blocks out social media. It blocks out social media websites, okay, because G needs to focus and write. And some days it's not so easy. Some days all the brain cells are moving around like this, like that, like that. Okay, so I can't focus. So on the days where like I really, really need to focus, and I use this method even in writing my books and all that. I will turn on Forest on my computer and I will set a time. So I'll set maybe 40 minutes. And if you have questions, by the way, ask them in the chat. Ask them in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody commenting. T, Chris, Photoshop. Wow. Stephanie, love you all. I'm so grateful you guys are here. And if this video is you're getting value, thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up. Anyway, so with Forest, I'll set a timer. And then, so I'll set a timer, let's say for 60 minutes. And during that 60 minutes, it blocks out all of the social media websites. So I can't come on YouTube. I can't go on LinkedIn. I can't go on Instagram. I can't go on Facebook. It blocks it out. So if I'm tempted to do that, it immediately shows me a black screen and says, you are still working. Calls me out. And then what it does is that it also allows me to focus. So I have a few videos on here where I talk about time blocking, right? This is how I do it. This is how I actually put it into practice. If I have a time block on my calendar that between this time and this time, this is what I'm doing, especially when I'm working on my computer, then I set that time on Forest. And during that time, that 60 minutes, and focus on that one thing. And it helps that things are also blocked. So I cannot go to anywhere else to play and to limit me from working. I read a very interesting study yesterday that said that people who multitask, okay, they said people who multitask, let me tell you this, people who multitask or who get easily distracted end up destroying their memories. You actually reduce the capacity for your brain to retain information if you're consistently distracting yourself and multitasking. Your memory is actually reduced, okay? And on top of that, it reduces productivity. So your productivity goes down because you're distracted, because there are too many things fighting for your attention. And your ability or your capacity, your brain's capacity to memorize and keep information actually also goes down. Guys, we have to keep our brains healthy. So it's absolutely important that when you're focused on something, be focused on that and do that and not get distracted by other things, because what you're doing, you're actually killing parts of your brain here. So I want my brain to, like, when I'm 80, God willing, I want to be like having if YouTube is still around, I'm going to still be YouTubing at 80. Okay, this is how I'm intending to live out my days. So Forest really allows me to it allows me to really focus in and zone in on my work whilst I'm being blocked. And of course, with more productivity comes what? More income, because you'll be able to submit those pieces to your clients. They're going to be happy with you. They're going to pay you more. They're going to give you the raise you ask for, and so on and so forth. So those are my 12 tools that have really helped me in my online business. And, I want to hear from you guys what you thought about anything I said in this video, or if you had any questions, let me know. Patricia says, wow, this is good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, T, for watching. Wow, this means so much to me. This means a lot to me. So I'll take some questions. Yeah. No, download Forest. So it's especially helpful if you have it on your computer. On my phone, I don't know. I don't use it on my phone. But on my computer, when I want to write, yes. But yeah, download it. It's a helpful tool. It really is. You're welcome, Antoinette. You're welcome. I appreciate it. I'm super sorry. Once again, let me apologize, because the original stream was on another link. And when I got on there, software failure. So yeah, that was a disaster. But I'm so grateful for all of you that were able to come on here. Yes, Stephanie is waiting for that Uber Suggest video. Okay, now I have the pressure is on to do this video. Okay, I will. All right, guys. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being on here live with me. If you have any more questions, this video is going to be on the channel. So you're more than welcome to leave me a comment on the video and I'll be more than happy to answer. All right. So I hope you all enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to enjoy mine. So make sure you enjoy yours as well. All right. Okay. Take care, guys.